Hello and welcome to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gav. Joining me today is Dave.
Alright.
And that's it. It's just the two of us today. Going to be a bit different, isn't it?
I'll be fine.
Aye.
That'll be good.
Aye. So how you been?
I've been no bad. Off my work this week.
Oh, brilliant. Much planned?
No, well, we've got a game of fives after we record this, so see how that goes.
This is probably the first time I've played fives with you in about seven years?
Star sixes.
Star sixes. I was sixes though. That wasn't fives.
But we're playing in like an hour
Sponsored by
and a half.
Fansbet.
We're playing in like an hour and a half, and you're sitting talking into a burger and chips.
Right, can I just say it's a very healthy slim and rolled recipe burger and chips.
Yeah,
I'm
it's fine, but you're still going to get a stitch.
Yeah, aye, that's going to happen. It's fine. I just stand at the back and just play sweeper.
Right.
Aye, but it's probably been because the last time I played fives you was when we both worked together, and you guys just took it way too seriously for my liking. I like to muck about a bit. So aye. But you're playing with my mates today, so aye, it'll be a nice chilled out game of fives. Do you got much else planned with your week off, other than try to organise a boiler man coming to fix your boiler?
No, nothing at all, mate.
No.
Absolute hee-haw. Go and visit my papa and that, and that's probably about it.
Good stuff. Right, so back onto the Hibs. We are obviously going to look back at the Aberdeen game on Saturday, and then look ahead to the Celtic game, and then finish up with some questions from you guys. So quite a few interesting topics, obviously a lot to do with the managerial situation and the higher up above that. So we'll get to that after the Aberdeen and Celtic game. So, starting with the Aberdeen game. Team selection, Dave. What did you initially think when you seen the team selection and seen our 5 new signings, including Omiyonga and Gold, who have been there for a few weeks, both being on the bench?
I was absolutely astounded that Gold was on the bench. I couldn't believe it. Like, we were sitting behind the goals when the team came out, and the first reaction's like, "Oh, you are having a laugh." Like, surely you must say something wrong with him, but nah, nothing wrong with him. Just changed it for the sake of changing it, which we seem to love to be doing. And the other thing, I was surprised that was Bartley was playing in front. Yeah,
Back five.
Aye. So it was a really negative lineup.
So getting into the game itself, we're going to go through some of the players' performances and stuff in a minute, but getting into the game itself, first thing to talk about is Ollie Shaw's goal. What did you make of the goal?
Aye, decent strike. He just turned and seemed to have loads of space. Keeper had no chance. Yeah,
it was really good the way it sort of bounced in front of the keeper.
Yeah.
It was a really well hit shot.
It was good to see a wee bit of positivity. Got the ball, turned, drove.
He's been doing that a lot in the last few weeks, especially like St Mirren as well. He just seems to be getting this confidence out of nowhere, and it's really starting to pay off and stuff. And he just, against St Mirren, he seemed to be free, and he just sort of be running at the defenders quite willingly, and he's kind of taking that swagger into this week's game, which was great to see.
Yep.
The equaliser, definition of shambolic defending.
You could say that. We did clear our lines a couple of times.
Could we have cleared it better?
David Gray's header off the line, obviously, if he got a wee bit more on it, rather than it just landing right to...
Still in the 6-yard box, aye. But clearing us off the line's always tough. Shouldn't have even got to that in the first place.
Nah, basically, we had Milligan cleared it out, and it went out quite wide, but whether we should have stopped that coming back into the box...
Put more pressure on Mackay Stevens.
Yep. That's probably where we went wrong.
And then obviously headed in by Andrew Constantine, they got the goal. And then the next one, horror show for Marciano. I didn't think it was a great shot when I saw it. Watching the highlights back, it wasn't. It was a really not that great a shot from Greg Stewart.
It was one of the daisy trimmers.
Aye. And Marciano should have it every day and spills it. It falls to May. May hits a shot which bounces off Marciano and then falls to Gary Mackay-Stevens, who has not the tightest of angles, but a wee bit of a tight angle, and puts it in an empty net really because Marciano's behind him.
Yeah, but then same thing again. Where's the reaction for the Hibs defence? Just kind of sat and watched.
How did May and Gary Mackay-Stevens get to that?
Twice.
And there was twice, and no Hibs defender got to that.
Yep, they'd be as well sitting next to us watching what's going on.
Yeah. Aye. So that was Aberdeen 2-1 in front. The only other note from the first half was Mallon's free kick, which resulted in Lewis going off injured. A lot of Hibs fans seemed was a lot of booing towards Lewis,
I
but
think that's because you couldn't really see what had happened to him.
Aye.
He just looked like he had dived. I didn't know he cut his eye.
I know, but when you see the replay, the way his head smacks off, like that's a probable concussion, and you know he'll not be. If Aberdeen playing midweek, or are they not until next week?
I couldn't tell you.
I think that Celtic are just getting moved to the league
Fair
final.
play,
But anyway,
he went off.
no, he had to go off.
He was
Aye.
obviously injured, but
Aye. Getting through the highlights then. The Aberdeen got a penalty. Any complaints? There was no complaints from Dan McGregor.
no, I
gave it away.
knew at the time it was a penalty. He's too slow,
Aye.
like clumsy. Just
Clips his right foot, and yeah, aye. It was Ferguson's right foot. I'm sure it was Ferguson that made the burst into the box, and but a great save from Marciano.
Yeah,
Slightly redeems himself after the mess earlier on.
he's a good shot stopper.
Aye.
Though. That's what he does. His distribution is howling.
Uh-huh.
Like
and his handling could be improved,
yeah, but
shot stopping.
yeah,
Brilliant.
you couldn't fault him at all. It was a good save.
Ollie Shaw had the ball in the back of the net. I seen the flag. Unfortunately, you didn't. You thought we'd equalised.
Jumped up and down.
Aye.
Cheers for telling everybody.
You weren't alone.
No, I know,
It was
but
like three
I
quarters
could
of
have
the
played that
stadium.
down. I could have played that down there. But you didn't even give me the chance.
No. I've made that mistake too many times. First thing I do is always look at the linesman. Aye, so obviously it was offside, but and he got two stabs at it, but second one was a well taken shot for Shaw.
Yeah, no.
He's
Like you say, his finishing's been decent. So.
aye, just a few times. I mean, we've spoken about this last week. Canberra against Motherwell, and then against St Mirren, and a couple of times against Aberdeen. He's finding himself a lot offside a lot, and Shaw to be doing that as well is quite worrying. We seem to be, we need to be a bit more patient, and the strikers need to be timing their runs better.
Either that or you're caught ball watching.
Aye.
You're not paying attention to what's going on about you.
It's just a thing though. It's like if surely if it's happening that often, especially with Canberra, the attacking coaches can be working on that and saying like you need to watch where you are in the line and making sure you're staying on line and play on the line rather than just buy it.
Mate, there's so much that should be getting picked up on, in my opinion, that the coaching, like...
Yeah.
But
aye, we'll get to that. And then finally for the... Just sort of from one of the flashpoints, Wilson should have made it 3. He got through in the dying minutes and put it wide. But yeah. So, going through some player performances, what was your thoughts on Malin?
quiet, again.
See, I thought Malin started really well. He seemed to be playing. It seemed to be like Slavka and Bartley were sitting, and he was in that sort of number 10, sort of like as if it was last season. McGinn and McGeoch slightly sitting, and then Scott Allen in the number 10 position. It was like that, and Malin was playing there. He was getting himself into space. There was a couple of times where he was running at the defence, and he had Canberra to one side and Shot at the other, and I was like, oh, this is really this is the sort of Malin we want to see. As soon as Aberdeen equalised, he went deeper and started looking for the ball.
Yeah, I know, but then I said this to you as well, like Malin's got to know himself that he's probably just filling a space now.
In the number 10 role.
He's not going to play the number 10 role. He's
Ryan Gould
next season. The rest of this season, I would expect Ryan Gould to be playing there, but then next season Scott Allen will be playing there.
Mm-hmm.
So then, where does Malin drop? Does he drop and try and play the McGeoch role, which we tried to mould him into? So why did they then change out of that?
I know.
The rest of this season needs to be used, surely, with an eye on next season. Malin's on a contract.
But then you want somebody like Malin to be versatile and able to play multiple positions.
I bet he can.
Because if Scott Allen gets injured, you want Malin to just bump forward and somebody else to come to that central midfield role.
Possibly, but no, you've probably got a point there. Okay, that I can't
you want
bother
players to be
arguing.
versatile.
But at the same time, he isn't going to be playing there next season.
Yeah,
he isn't.
Next one I've got is the 3 substitutes that came on. Ryan Gould. I mean, obviously you were annoyed he weren't started. What was your thoughts when he did come on?
He couldn't really do much. Not ineffective, essentially, when he came on.
And what about McNulty?
He was running about a lot. We did say that at one point he actually gave away a free kick
in the right back area.
In the right back area, because he was that maybe a bit too keen.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't blame him for wanting to impress on his debut. But he shouldn't have been back there.
No. And let's give this a bash. Biggery Mana
looked tidy when he came on.
Yes, I done it.
You did do it. Well done.
He looked quite tidy. I think there was a couple of points where he done like a bit of a fancy turn when there was nowhere near him. It was like, you didn't need to do that. I know you're trying to make a good impression on your debut, but we're getting beat 2-1. Let's get the ball forward. I think overall, the thing that annoyed me, there was so many things, basic decision making, that was wrong from everyone across the pitch, whether it was defensively or offensively. There was so many decisions by so many players, just that it's like, what were you doing that for? The obvious ball was that ball, and you've played it to, you've tried to play it in the middle. You've not played it to out wide to Gray, or Gray's tried to slip it forward to somebody that was clearly running another direction, or it was all over the park. Everybody was at fault for it.
But it's a chemistry thing.
Yeah, which we're getting onto in a second.
Yeah.
Aye.
So,
thank you for that. That's good. So, what was your thoughts on Ollie Shaw going off, considering he scored? He'd scored an offside goal, but had taken it well. Was looking lively and scored last week. And keeper on Canberry, who was on a booking, looked angry, wasn't working for. The only thing you could say was he was sort of winning a couple of balls, not in the air, but sort of chesting a couple of balls down. His distribution was alright. But do you felt when McNulty came on, do you think he should have played up side beside Shaw? Or do you think when he did that focal point in Canberry?
That was probably their thinking, that they needed the focal point. But
should we have been playing the ball in the ground?
When we're chasing the game, you want probably Shaw, who's confident. Like you were saying, sitting next to me, Canberry needs a goal. He was working hard, but just nothing was coming off. And so I would have probably took off Canberry and had Shaw and McNulty as your two up top.
Yeah. Okay, finally the defence. I mean, I don't know what to even say about the defence. I mean, you've got Gray, McGregor, Milligan, Hanlon, Louis. Louis got man of the match, which I don't understand.
Not bizarre.
He's
more voted.
What do you think of the defence? I mean, there was a really sort of Aberdeen. It's not Aberdeen could have scored more, and I think Aberdeen have done this in the past when they've came to Easter Road. They've got in front, and then they've started playing on the counter attack. Whereas if they wanted to be lethal, they probably could have went for more.
Yeah.
How do we fix that problem with the defence?
But I think this will be Dan McGregor's last season. I'm pretty confident about that. I don't think Milligan will be here next season. So there's 2 year back five. Davy Gray, injury prone, like hasn't he played a great deal? I thought he was done before the start of this season. We said it in the summer. Obviously proven to be a wee bit wrong, because when he has came in and then that he's played well. He's a captain. He's like what you need. He's a leader, but he wasn't getting up and down like he normally does on Saturday.
Was that because Aberdeen had moved Gary Mackay-Stevens out to the left wing back role, but it's quite an advanced left wing back role?
Probably, but I've seen quite a lot of people saying that he just didn't look 100%.
There's a couple of points he was breathing at his
which again he's not been playing 90 minutes. So that's his second 90 minutes, because St Mirren was his first.
Yeah.
So there is definitely going to be a lot of changes in the defence the next, well, I don't know, summer. We need to rebuild in this window.
Yeah.
Which is annoying, because we rebuilt last summer apparently.
So speaking, we're up against a team that really don't need to rebuild because they've got quite a settled team, and obviously we're speaking about the defence. Is one of the issues with the defence the fact that it's not been a settled team.
Yeah, well, they're playing in front of a different goalkeeper all the time as well.
So I've got some quick stats here. I'll run through this as quick as possible because I don't want to be boring. But so looking at the Aberdeen team, this is looking at starts in the Premier League. Lewis started 24, Logan 21, Hoban is 3, but he's only coming in from McKenna. Considine 21, Lowe 19, but he started the season at Derby. Stewart 3, but he knows the club well from being there last season. Ferguson 20, Shinnie 24, Mackay-Stevens 16, but he had an injury. Cosgrove 15, but he's played 22 overall, and that's only because he's recently came into form. And May 22. So that's, you know, out of, what is it, 4 games we've played this season?
Yep.
You know, a lot of that team have played the majority of the season.
Yeah, consistent 20 odd games.
Aye, you could pretty much, you knew how Aberdeen were going to line up. They've got that consistency. They know how each other's going to play. You spoke about the chemistry and stuff. Let's look at the Hibs team. Marciano, 6 games.
Yep.
David Gray, 10 games. Louis, 19. McGregor, 10 games. Hanlon, 12 games. This is starts, I should say. Milligan, 11. Bartley, 7. Mallon is the highest, 23. He's only not started 1 game. Slivka, 13. Canberry, 18, because he had his injuries. And then Shaw, 10. There's, I mean, I don't know if we've even started with that same 11 before. I'd have to go back and tell you.
But how many times do we turn up at Easter Road and we go, what do you think the team will be today? And then whoever you're with, they'll come out with suggestions and use them maybe, oh hey, a suggestion. And then we sometimes are all wrong still.
Aye.
Like, it shouldn't be like that.
It needs to be a settled 11 and building on it. And then, you know, you get your settled 11 and you kind of go, right, that's the weak point of the team. It comes to the transfer window and you bring in a Greg Stewart for that one position and you upgrade on that one position. And you build, not this, oh, let's try and throw a team together. And obviously, yeah, you make tactical tweaks and stuff like that here and there, and personal changes depending on who you're playing. But overall, you should have a settled team.
I did think that was maybe a Neil Lennon thing.
Aye.
But Eddie May and Grant Murray have changed it from the St Mirren game, which second half was brilliant. You wanted to start the team, the second half team, with the exception, obviously, Omiyonga, like, because that's the way the game finished.
Omiyonga didn't play against St Mirren.
He came on.
He came on.
Right, that's what I mean.
Oh, right,
he didn't want to.
See what you mean, sorry.
And then it was completely different again. Against Aberdeen. And will it be completely different against Celtic midweek?
Yeah.
Yep. Will it be different against? Will we then play different? Obviously, you play different with Celtic than you did at Rafe at home. You'd expect changes there, but there'll probably be a lot of changes. Like, and nobody's getting a run. Nobody's getting to play with each other. It's just, there's a lot of work needs done, which you think, oh, you need a winter break for, which we've just had. So, what did they end up by? Did any of them even come back with a nice tan? I mean, that's questionable.
Anyway, let's look ahead. Let's get all excited. You know, let's all be positive. And we've got Celtic next at Parkhead. Celtic's so Celtic lost to Rangers at Ibrox.
Yep, on the 29th.
On the 29th. There was then the winter break. Since they've come back for the winter break, they've played 5 games. They've scored 14 and conceded none. Does that scare you?
A wee bit, but in many ways it's like just, it's the worst game that we could have, and then it's the best game we could have. Just go in, like, no expectations, essentially. Which is a wee bit of a shame, because it's the first time we've played Celtic in a while where I've felt like this. But realistically, what have I got to be optimistic? Like, what if Hibs gave us 3 wins out of 16? I'd be lying to you if I said we're going to go to Parkhead and win. Or that's what I thought was going to happen. So,
does I mean, I know we've got our own injury problems with Boyle, Porteous, to Omiyonga and stuff. Ajipong, sorry. Do you think the Celtic injuries could help us on Wednesday night? So they are without Edward, Forrest, Lustig, although that boy for Borussia Dortmund is just going to come in and slot in at right back, so that's no big loss.
I'd rather Lustig played.
Benkovic, Rogic and Tierney, whilst Boyata and Ncham are just back in training, so they're doubts for the game. So that's quite a lot of injuries. But
yeah, but then their squad's brilliant. So, I mean, they've got a boy for Dortmund coming in to be the right back, and they've got that Weir's been on form, so he'll come in for Edouard.
Ollie Burke.
Yeah, just different gravy, unfortunately, but hopefully there'll be a wee bit of a niggle in the match with the whole Scott Allen situation.
Hopefully, because that was just sickening to see Scott Allen up in the stand,
just sitting there.
You know, I mean, you know, I know some people have got their opinions about Scott Allen stuff. But end of the day, he's a footballer who's no getting to play because why?
I don't have an answer. I don't know why he's not playing now.
I mean, is that a case of, I mean, you could look at it, you could blame Hibs for not pushing out the boat and paying whatever was needed to pay. I mean, apparently Celtic, this is just a rumour, but apparently Celtic said Hibs could have him if they paid the 100% of his wages, what he's on now, loan him till the end of the season, then he comes to us. Don't know how much that would cost, or there's a transfer fee to probably get him. Hibs weren't willing to pay that. It just seems a bit frustrating.
Well, the thing I heard is that we contacted Celtic on the Tuesday, deadline's Thursday night, and Celtic didn't get back.
We've had the whole window.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Obviously, we've had other
what
things
was the
going
email?
on.
What do you think the email that though? I don't even know if it's an email, but what do you think that could have been for them just to ignore that?
Hi, it's Hibs here. How do we get Scott Allen now? We just realised the deadline's Thursday. Please get back to us ASAP.
Why are you putting on an Aberdeen voice?
I don't know, does the Lord Petrie no sound like us?
I think so, mate.
No, I don't know. It's probably the only accent I can do because half my family's from up there, so I don't know. Didn't know what to do my own voice. Sorry. Anyway, so Celtic game. What's your prediction? So let's get two predictions.
Jesus.
One your head and two your heart. No, start with your heart.
Heart. One each.
I was going to say 2-2, so it's not much better.
Yeah.
And your head?
My head 3-0 Celtic.
I'll go 3-1 Celtic. Which is really bad, but at the same time we've got no manager. We've got injuries ourselves. Even though Celtic got injuries, they've got a massive squad. I just can't see it. I mean, I'd love to come on and be like, oh, nah, we can do this. We can set up this way. The players take in how we're going to set up. I mean, I'd love it if McNulty, Celtic can't really. I mean, they can probably watch tapes from him down in England and stuff, but maybe McNulty's a bit of an unknown. Same with like Omeonga and Gold. If like three of them started, and then maybe that would help. And I'm trying to be positive here.
We just need to go at them.
Aye.
We've absolutely nothing to lose.
Aye.
Apart from a game of football, which we're used to now.
Is it on Sky or BT?
It's not on anything.
It's not on anything?
No. I don't think it is anyway. Rangers Aberdeen's on.
Oh, brilliant.
You can go. I think there's still tickets.
I don't know what time I get back from placement.
Yeah.
Getting through to Glasgow would be difficult. Okay. So we're going to finish up with questions from you guys. We asked online, and I'll start with some. Dave, you can go. So Dave, I've got the Instagram and Facebook ones, and Dave's got the Twitter ones. So I shall start with the Instagram ones. Andrew Ramsey 74. What other club in Scotland would consider appointing a cup-winning manager that is regarded as a legend by most fans as a backward step? So basically, what it's saying, what other club would have a Scottish Cup winning manager come back and folk would regard it as a backward step?
I think a lot of fans from all different clubs would be worried about tarnishing his reputation. I personally don't care about that, because I think what a weird way to look at life. Something good's happened, so that can't happen again. Like, know what I mean?
Aye. Next question we've got here is, will the progress made after the Scottish Cup win continue, or will we stagnate in the next few seasons? I mean, that's a bit of an unknown, but I mean, saying that, we've got Wraith Rovers at home. You'd like to think we'll win that, and then we're 3 games away from the Scottish Cup again. It's not impossible if McNulty and Ryan Gold and this Darnell Johnson might be really good. If like today click and a new manager comes in, we get a new manager bounce.
Yeah.
It's not within the realm, out with the realms of possibility that
our season rests on that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, with the league becoming, Europe becoming further away, that's the only way, the most realistic way of getting Europe now.
Yeah.
So really, there has to be a lot of focus on the Scottish Cup. 1, because of Europe, and 2, the finances, and 3, because it means so much to Hibs fans.
Yeah, we need to hang our hat on that. Even if we got to if we got to the final and say, obviously we didn't win it, but say that Celtic won it and they won the league, then we'd still get Europe, wouldn't we?
If we won, yeah. I think that's the way they do it.
I think so as well.
Or did
they
changed it one year, but I can't remember. Or they were talking about changing it to the League Cup, or maybe it goes to the League. I can't remember. Anyway, is Gordon This is from. Sorry, the last question was from Marcus Calderon 38. This question's from Hibs fans page _1875. Is Gordon Strachan a realistic appointment? Thoughts on the deadline transfers? So first off, Gordon Strachan.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen.
Near that.
He's been quite distant about it.
Aye, I think he's distanced himself for a reason, because wanting it. I think he sort of said he's happy doing what he's doing now in terms of youth development and stuff. He said he's not ruled out a return to management, but I don't think it's something he's looking at now. And I don't know. I don't think he fancies the Hibs job, especially with Lennon leaving and him being such close friends with Lennon.
Yeah, Gordon Strachan. The idea of Gordon Strachan being manager doesn't make me jump up and down anyway. So I'm not bothered if he's distanced himself out or not.
Aye, I think he's a bit. He's an older manager. He's sort of. I want something a bit more forward thinking, a bit new. Rather than
like when we appointed Stubbs sitting a bit left field,
who'd been working in development, he'd be learning new things, and anyway, thoughts on the deadline day transfers as well. Biggery Mama's a strange one because
nothing to lose with that though. Let's a deal at the end of the season. He doesn't play well, he leaves. He plays well, we offer him a new deal. You know what I mean? It's no really. It's a no-brainer, right? It was a wee bit left field as well, but Darnell Johnson, you said that we had actually been looking at that for a little while. Yeah,
I'd heard that we'd been looking at that for the majority of the month. I think he had a bit of a hamstring injury, and says, right, go get that sorted. And so even when Lennon was there, we were looking at him. It's not just a random one that picked up, alright, Lennon's on here, let's go after him now. He was one that was always on the cards. And
then McNulty, I'm happy with, because I didn't think that was going to happen at one point, and he said it himself, and he's on the video on YouTube when he signed, he didn't think it was going to happen. It was on, it was off, and so I'm quite happy with that one.
We reached out to some of our podcast friends. We didn't hear back from the Leicester podcast. I tried to.
Who did you think they are?
Them. I know,
big time.
I know.
Do you think they won the league or something?
But our good friends at the MFC podcast, we played with him at the Star Sixes, and he's a really nice guy. When Biggery Mana arrived, we were quite excited. We have a few mates who follow Coventry, and he'd done really well there. There was a few glimpses of his potential, but all too rarely. There's absolutely an argument for our style of play not fitting his game, but he didn't really adapt either. I wasn't a fan of how Robinson hung him out to dry on occasion, but then again, if he'd be willing to track his man, or indeed do any sort of defensive work, then we wouldn't have let then that probably wouldn't have happened. So, I mean, Dave, you've had your gripes with Horgan not tracking back and stuff.
Yep.
Does it worry you seeing a central midfielder / defensive midfielder hearing about him not tracking back?
I would like to think that playing in a team that maybe suits his style and that a wee bit more, then that would maybe motivate him a bit. Especially, say, he has been getting hung to dry. And listen, the type of the football Mother will play, physical, probably didn't suit him. Like they were saying.
And they were saying, yeah.
Yeah, so he'll not get away with it at Hibs because he'll just get hounded at the door. So that's what I mean. To me, if he comes and he's not tracking in that, then he won't be here next year. But what I seen for him when he was on the park on Saturday, he looked tidy. So hopefully there is a player in there. He's not at Newcastle then kicking about down there for no reason.
Aye, you know I mean, they're doing well at Coventry. They had Apprentice of the Year in the Apprentice of the Year in the Championship.
Yeah,
that was about 7 years ago, and he won the FA. What's it called? FA Trophy, something like that. It's the FA something. It's the league trophy.
Johnson's painting.
That one, whatever it's called now. He won that with Coventry as well. So, and he scored the opening goal in that. I'm sure it might have been a man of the match performance. So he's a decent player in there.
Yep. Hopefully we can get out of him though.
Hopefully, depending on who the manager is. So we also spoke to the Coventry City podcast, or Cov City podcast. They said, "Hi, McNulty had a strange season last season. Looked like a typical Coventry signing in August to October. Couldn't hit a barn door, missed some absolute sitters, and didn't offer much else. Then, as if by magic, it all clicked for him. He ended with 28 goals and was finishing from inside and outside the box, and it was all impeccable. Good movement, hard working, but more than anything, he could just put every half chance he had away. Seems like a nice lad too. Should be a fantastic signing for you. He was really unlucky at Reading that the manager that signed him got the boot, but I'm not convinced he'd have lit it up in the Championship." Does that make you a bit confident about McNulty? I mean, you already seem quite confident about McNulty coming in.
Yeah, no, but it's folk that have watched them every week. I'd rather their opinions on McNulty than Chris Boyd and Chris Commons. Know what I mean? Right, so pretty sound feedback for the Coventry guys. So
unlike the Leicester lads who didn't have bloody reply to us, no, they're going to hear this about us morning.
I think they're big time. Okay,
last 3 questions for me for Instagram, and then you can read out the ones on Twitter. So should Hibs react to Chris Sutton's criticism of Leanne Dempster, or is it best for it to be ignored? Just ignore it,
I'm not bothered about it. So.
No. Should Hibs keep going left field with managerial / coaching options, or go old school? We've kind of already hinted on that, which is nice to see them going left field. Maybe not left field. If there's somebody quite obvious that we can get, then yes. But I'd want them to be a younger, kind of forward-thinking manager rather than an old school.
I've never been a fan of the manager merry-go-round, like the same guys getting jobs, and like, you went a few years where any job that came up the lower half of the table in Scotland, like Jimmy Calderwood. Kind of past that. I kind of hope we're looking at fresh things.
Would you be okay with a manager, something I'm thinking about earlier on, would you be okay with a manager who, maybe didn't disclose it to Hibs, but you kind of knew, right, that's a manager that's kind of looking to come up here, do well at Hibs, and then try and impress the old firm?
No.
If that was their initial thing, because that means that they're wanting to do well with Hibs, then
I wouldn't want them to say they wanted to go to the old firm. I'd maybe accept that at the end of the day, if you're not a Hibs man, Hibs is no the pinnacle of football. Like I
think that's what Tony Mowbray done.
We all want people to come in and say Hibs is the best thing since sliced bread. I've been a fan all my life and all of that. But at the end of the day, people will come and maybe do their best and then move on, because we're a stepping stone. I wouldn't mind if a manager came in and had that in his mind, but if he came out with the words, I'm waiting for the old firm.
Nah, I'm not saying that.
We're not a training ground for them. We're not getting everything ready for them to be rosy. We need to not be knocking them off their perch.
My thing is somebody like Davy Moyes, because I think Davy Moyes could. It's probably quite an unrealistic one, because he probably could get a big money job down the bottom of England or the top of the Championship. But if he's eyeing the Celtic job and he's like, well, Brendan's probably there for 10 in a row. If Brendan goes, what? The inevitable 10 in a row. Well, I can agree on that. So if he's there for that, and then he'll go after that, if I could put a good few years in at Hibs, can I get them back to like 3rd, 4th in the league, do quite well, get my stock up in Scotland, and then go into Celtic and take over for Brendan? Would that, if that was in his head, would that annoy you?
To get Davy Moyes, probably not. No, so I'm just going to completely contradict everyone I just said.
Okay, and the last one: could we get something at the game on Wednesday against Celtic, given their first team 11 is pretty much injured? We spoke about that already, but their squad depth is that good?
We could, but it would have to be a big difference in what the Hibs have been seeing. It would need to be the last decent game we had, which was against Celtic.
Yeah. Okay, you ready for Twitter questions? I gave you a heads up. You got them loaded up? That is no
fingerprint. See when you see in your phone. See whenever you really want it in your phone and you do the fingerprint thing. It never works.
Face ID works when I'm driving. It never works any other time. I'm like, dang it, because I now get pulled over by the police.
I don't put Face ID on. Anyway. So Jamie Montgomery on Twitter is asked, will the club ever be able to grow and progress with a continuation of Farmer and Petrie at the helm? And now I thought this was a bit like a question.
Aye.
So, done a wee bit of background digging,
as
you would say. And I come up with some stats that even surprised me.
Yeah.
And I think you were quite surprised yourself, Gav. So Petrie came to the club in '97, so it's been 21 seasons he's been at the club. We got relegated pretty much straight away. Fair enough, probably not his fault, just coming at a new club. But in the 21 seasons, we have only finished in the top 6 43% of those times, so nine times. Fair enough, 9 times out of the 21 seasons we've been in the top 6. Fair enough, 4 of them seasons we've been in the Championship. But you've got to look, if you want to be a successful club, and what you would maybe deem as successful, to me top 6 is, finishing 6th is not a success, but if we look at the basics, so 9 times out of 21.
How many of those top 6 finishes were 6th in the league?
4 out of the 9 were 6th. So top 5 only 24% of the time, and then top 3 were finished twice, so 9.5% of the time. So by laws of averages, you've got to wait another 10 years for us to have a top 3 finish. So 2027, get yourself a season ticket because it's going to be brilliant. So that's got to answer the question. We're probably happy dotting about, making money, like without actually really maybe do something every now and then, and fade back to mediocrity and hope it doesn't get noticed. Seems to be the theme, unfortunately.
But in saying that, it's like it's not like we're stashing away loads of money and stuff, because it's only like the last couple of years that we've kind of been posting profits. And I know obviously we're in the Championship before that, but it's like, you know, yeah, I mean, we're not always posting a profit every year.
Yeah, I know, but
so you can't say, but we're not.
You've got teams like St Johnstone and Kilmarnock above us in the league now. Is that really good enough?
Or was that Petrie's fault?
Nah, but he's top of the chain. He is top of the chain, and there's
common denominator.
There's been 21 seasons, a trend that's no changed, and Petrie's the trend that's no changed in those 21 years.
Did change his position though and gave Leanne more of the hands-on role. That
and it's probably been better since then. But the question that I was asked was Petrie and Farmer, and then so done that digging, and that's the facts.
Okay, black
and white. And in my opinion, for the club to change dramatically, something would need to change top level with the purse strings.
So what was the next question you've got?
So next question was from, well, start off with a question. So it was, are we back as the Scottish Banter FC?
I think Rangers will hold that title for a long time.
Yes, that was from Andy Rogers.
Is that Jing that's a Hibs fan, or Jing that's a Rangers fan just hoping to punt off the...
No, because unless he's went and made a Twitter handle, so it's Rogers 8075.
Right, okay.
A bit of prep.
Right. Thought it was maybe just a Rangers fan just trying to punt on the name.
But my honest answer to that question would be, well, we're not quite back to that level. At the end of the day, only a couple of years ago we won the Cup. Last season we had a record season. You don't just dramatically... Well, we have dramatically dropped, but you didn't just get a title like a Banter FC out of nothing.
For one bad season.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate what's happened with Lennon and that, but I don't think we're quite there yet. We're getting a good goal.
I know. And I mean, that's the thing. I mean, quickly, when we're going about this for a long time, but I mean, you spoke earlier on about the defence is going to need replaced. I mean, just looking at the age of them, I mean, you know, what David Gray's like 31, Lou Stevenson's 31, Whittaker's 37, 8, 9, 10, 40. Doesn't make much sense. McGregor's 32, 33, Milligan's 33, Hanlon's 29, so he's alright, and Porteous is young. Other than that, you know, we're going to need to replace that whole defence, so we're going to need to rebuild there. I can't remember I was originally going with this point. So we're going to need a new man. We're going to get a new manager, and hopefully they don't. I'd like to see the new manager coming in now, working with the likes of the youngsters. Shaw, a year older, Porteous, you know, the Eddie May spoke really well about him. Although he's injured, he's going to come back mentally stronger and be able to read the game better because they're going to work with him while he's injured. So Porteous coming back fit. Hopefully a couple of new signings to build the defence. I think but it could be more positive going next season. A manager's got 6 months to get his feet under the carpet rather than hopefully an end of the season appointment. Anyway, sorry, that's my wee bit
No, that's fair enough. And you've got Cal Hibs has asked what went wrong with McLaren this season. You want to take that one?
Not given a chance. I don't want people thinking. I mean, I've got a lot of respect for Lennon and how good a manager he is, but you've got being a good manager and you've got being a good man management. Your man management is something that I don't think Lennon's particularly good at. I think that Lennon, you look at his treatment of certain players, he's tried to do the same thing for every player. I mean, I don't want to, Dave, you probably know more than me because you've been in management a lot longer than me. I only had a brief stint in management, but one of the bits when I was learning about management was you have to approach every staff member differently. You have to look at them as individuals and see, how do I manage this individual? Because usually I think there's 4 categories most people fall into, and you have to approach them differently. Identify what kind of person they are and then manage them differently. Lennon seemed to just copy and paste his treatment of Ambrose, Canberry, McLaren, all that, and just sort of hope to get the same results. And if it didn't work, then you were out the team. So yeah, I'd say that was Lennon's man management that caused it, and a lack of service that caused it not to work for McLaren.
Just quickly as well, what do you make of McLaren's comments today?
What, I never heard what he say.
He said in the Australian press, well, I think the Daily Record reported it, so but he said that he left Hibs because Lennon was sacked, his exact words. That was the reason for him leaving.
So he liked Lennon?
Who knows? It's, to be honest, who knows? But he's just the only one that's come out and said anything.
If that's true, then what I just said is completely redundant. Thanks for that, Dave. You made me look like an arse.
Well, I don't. You do that yourself. Next question from Cal. He fired in a few. Are the media right to criticise Hibs regarding Lennon, given that they admit to knowing very little? So my opinion on this was that I think they're just sticking up for their pal, like Chris Sutton, and that. I like Chris Sutton, but I don't. The last couple of days I've not been a massive fan of him. He's talking as if he knows something else that's happening and that's going on, and anybody else that doesn't know his information, they're automatically all wrong. And I don't like that, because I'm not going to listen to his opinion on it if he does know something different. Then until everybody knows all the facts, then how can anybody be right or wrong? That's the thing that annoys me. It's like what I said with a jury. Like you didn't go to a trial and then half the jury get the whole story, and then that half got to then convince the other half of the jury who didn't know any of the facts that Lennon is right or wrong, or like, I mean, you didn't. Yeah. That's not going to happen. It doesn't happen. Everybody needs to know the whole story before anybody can get lambasted with anything. In my opinion, the club have put out that statement. They've gave themselves the dug themselves a bit of a hole, because the questions are still there to be asked. But Hibs are probably no bothered about that. Lennon's probably no sitting in the house, Leanne, worried about what Chris Sutton's saying.
She's probably more worried about what dog food she's buying. Yeah,
I just think they're just all sticking up for their pal, and I'm honestly done with it.
It's an absolutely gorgeous dog, by the way, completely off topic, but she's got an absolutely gorgeous dog. Aye, so is that all your questions from Twitter? You got any more?
Well, my mate got in contact.
Right, okay.
Blair Gibb.
Alright, okay, that's not bad then.
Just asking, is Dave okay?
I can answer this one. I've had to give Dave a couple of cuddles the last few days.
Don't tell him that.
I went in on the first to your work,
and
gave you a cuddle, because obviously we hadn't got Scotland over the line.
Yeah,
that was a bit stressful at night, or the even the press announcer. No, what's he called?
Kenny Miller.
No, Kenny Miller came out and he was putting out stuff, and then you had the announcer putting out stuff.
Yeah.
It was quite strange, and it was like as if it was like trying to like get our hopes down to then build us up, and then no, it's not happening. I don't know. It was a bit weird. So yeah, Dave's been on a bit of a emotional roller coaster, like a lot of us.
That's the only thing I've been overly bothered about. The rest of it, I've not been that bothered about.
No.
It's nah.
What about all your mates giving you grief because
they just want rage for the sake of having rage?
Right.
Because Hearts have been a laughing stock over the years and Rangers have been a laughing stock over the years, they're desperate to turn it and Hibs to be a laughing stock.
Mhm.
When the reality of the situation is we need a new manager.
Yeah.
What would the difference be now if Lennon, because Lennon's performances have not been brilliant, it's like we're eighth when he left. It's not like it's a John Collins situation where he's leaving and we're like top. There's no, at the end of the day, he's not the same guy that he was. Fair enough, brilliant manager and that, but hasn't he been a brilliant manager this year?
No.
Far from it. So if Lennon had just left normally, then we'd be in a situation. All we need is a new manager.
No.
Where's the turmoil? People want turmoil. Simple.
Fair
It's
enough.
a simple fix.
Okay, let's fire through some Facebook questions and then finish up because we're gonna go play fives.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mako Ewan McCall, oh, can I pronounce that? Mako Ewan has asked, I think the biggest issue at the moment is the lack of transparency and pure communication between club and fans. Silence is never a good PR strategy. I mean, we've already kind of spoken on that, but would you agree that they've maybe been a bit too quiet at the club, or do you think they've been, because it's been a legal matter, they've approached it the right way?
Hands are probably been tied.
Fair enough. Okay. Darren Miller replied to that saying, to be honest, that's his speciality. As annoying as it is, it always seems to be that way. Stuart Wilson, none of the new signings starting against Aberdeen. Too soon, or give them a chance against Celtic. I mean, it seems a bit harsh chucking them in at Parkhead, but yeah, it was. We already spoke about that. It was a bit of a strange one, them not playing. How many of them do you want to see play against Celtic at Parkhead?
I'd like to see McNulty.
Up top.
And I would also like to see Omiyonga in the hole that Bartley was in.
Right, in front of a back five.
Yeah.
Right.
If he's more box to box, he'll be comfortable on the ball for the defence to play the ball out to. Putting the ball out to Bartley is, it's no Dane in.
And as much as I love Darren McGregor,
Yeah.
I'd love to see Darnell Johnson in that right centre back role,
Yep.
because that means if Gray does go bombing forward, Louis can take a step over or kind of step back. Everyone else takes a step over, and we've got a back four because he can play right back as well. And then Gray can go forward and not feel that, need to come back. And then if you are playing with somebody like Bartley in front of the back five, it means he can step in, and it just means there's a bit more fluidity. So so it's fair enough playing Bartley there if you're going to do something like that. But then when you play McGregor at right centre back, who's never going to go out there, it doesn't work. Hanley can go out to left back, which is great. But we need somebody at right centre back like Ambrose that can go out to right back. So I'd like to see him coming in. Okay, let's fire through the last ones because we're running out of time. Are you unfazed? Are there unbiased referees? I think all referees are unbiased. I just think they're bad at their jobs.
It's an easy thing to throw at a ref,
Aye.
like Andrew Dallas at the weekend, or
I've not seen any of that. I have
But
seen the clips. That was bad. But then everybody's throwing that at Andrew Dallas. It was the linesman that gave one of the penalties.
Yeah, to be honest, they're all orange bastards. Every single one of them.
No, I think it's partly to do. I mean, not partly, but one of the things is they're all part time. Although in saying that, you look at the Premier League in England, they don't have as many issues, but they still have a lot of issues, and they're full time. So no, I don't think it's a case of bias. I think it's just a case of part time referees that aren't good enough.
They're just all really bad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And don't get me wrong, against Aberdeen it was horrendous. It was so inconsistent. But I think that was partly because Aberdeen stooped to play in a certain way. If they felt any contact, they went down, whereas Hibs tried to stay on their feet. And that didn't work. None of the new signings. Stuart's put that comment twice. That's one less to worry about. And Darren Miller, thoughts on the top six? I think we can still do it. And he would like to see Michael O'Neill as manager. We spoke about this with Stuart a few weeks ago, who thought he'd left the Northern Ireland post, but he's unfortunately still there. I think the only way, I don't think we could afford the compensation to get him. It would have to be he'd have to either want to leave, which I don't think he would, or he'd have to stay on and do both. Would you take Michael O'Neill though, or do you think it's too unrealistic?
No, I would take Michael O'Neill.
Do you think it's realistic?
If the club wanted it, and I do think it is realistic.
Do you think he'd have to stay on as Northern Ireland manager?
Nah,
considering he signed a 5-year deal or something when Scotland were interested in him last year.
I would need to know how much we'd have to pay.
You're talking like $1 million or something.
Well, that's not going to happen then, is it? So I don't know. I suppose there isn't a reason why he couldn't do both. The only thing I wouldn't like is you wouldn't get any, as daft as it sounds, time to
Chill out. Aye.
He would just always be on the go, and he wouldn't have that time with players. Maybe during an international break, if you've got players that are away and aren't away on international duty, he would be away.
Yeah.
So he'd be at the club. So nah, I don't think that's really an option I'd like to go down, but it's no out with the realms of possibility, I suppose.
Okay, right. Well, that's all our questions. So we've done the Celtic preview, and we're going to come back and do a post-Celtic match sort of thing. I think Craig's going to come out on Thursday night potentially. I know we said we were going to do the last one Thursday, and we never did, but no.
I was going to say, you need to stop promising these things.
I know.
You put pressure on yourself.
I know. Something will come up. Well, thanks for coming along, Dave.
Not a problem. Football time.
Alright, and we'll be back on Thursday, so we will see you then. When Biggery Manor... Oh, fuck's sake. Fuck my coffee!
That is dyspraxia at its best.